guys, this is going to be a short video just covering a couple of these sort of specialty drum articulations that are included in Jazz Anthology drums. The first one I want to talk about is the set of tempo syncable quarter note brush sweeps. When jazz drummers do the sort of quintessential swing pattern on the brushes, it's composed of two elements. I'm just going to flip over to the pattern maker here. We have a scene called the Easy Swing Brushes that kind of demonstrates this. The left hand of the drummer does a sort of back and forth. There's sometimes a circular quarter note pattern with sh, 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 just going back and forth quarter notes. And then the right hand does the sort of swing part, the So this little pattern, if I play it for you, demonstrates that. We also have the hi-hat pedal. But on the sequencer, I've got the quarter notes down here. I've got the quarter note right and left, and they're doing the quarter notes. I'm going to take this part out for now. I'll just get rid of all those, and you'll hear just the sweeping part. So it's just back and forth quarter notes. But it was really hard to achieve that with samples in my experience, so I handled it a special way. So I'm going to go back to the regular player here. And we've got these samples mapped down here on these two keys. Now that might not sound like much, but what you're hearing is the sweep across, and then at the end of that bit of audio, it's actually the beginning of the next note. It's the change in direction as the sweep goes back and forth. Well, that's what made it so hard to do this with other samples, is that it's a continuous sound, but it's got that change in direction with every quarter note as the drummer sweeps the brush across the head of the drum back and forth like a windshield wiper. The idea is that you overlap these as quarter notes, and with the two overlapping notes, it combines to create the effect of that back and forth. So what we would do here, we've got I've set it to 140, and we've got a click up. So I'll just play this in quarter notes with the hi-hat on 2 and 4. Okay, and now you're going to hear me say something you won't hear me say very often. I'm going to quantize it. I'm going to make it hard quarter notes. Okay. Oop. Did that go? Yes. So I'll let's take the velocity away. So now let's listen to that. Okay, that's pretty good, but what we want to do is grab all of these notes here and make sure that they're really overlapping, because as I said before, the end of the sample, of this sample, is actually meant to sound like the start of this note, and they need to dovetail. So let's listen now. And the cool thing about having that as the foundation is that now, maybe I'll just, I'm just going to copy and paste this a few times. So the cool thing about this is that now I'll just improvise something here, but I can play freely over this foundation and do hits and accents and stuff in a completely customized way that fits with my music that I wouldn't be able to do with an audio loop. So let's check that out. I mean, we'll see what we get here. So you get the idea. Now I could customize that. Now the cool thing is that the script detects the tempo of your tune. So if I turn my tempo down to 100, we're going to get we're going to hear different samples, but we're going to hear the same music, and it's going to sound pretty good because we're hearing sweeps that were done as quarter notes at 100. Now my accents were a little sloppy there, but you get my point. Okay, so now maybe we could go up to 220. Let's go to 220. Now the stuff that I played here may not sound appropriate at this tempo. Let's just see. It's a little sloppy. I'm just gonna mute this for now, so you can hear the sweeps. We could even go up to 260. So that's the general idea. Now there is one other little thing to know. You can go into options and turn the syncing off. So basically, it's still going to pull up a sample that is matching to the tempo of your DAW. What this means is that it won't stretch or compress it using the Contact Time Machine to make it a quarter note to your tempo. So if you were doing something really extreme and like maybe you wanted it to be like a subdivision, say you wanted what we're calling a quarter note to be an eighth note at your tempo or something, you don't want it to be stretched, you just turn this off. But it's still going to pick the best sample for you. And then, yeah, just another note, if you're using it in the pattern maker, you don't have to do it this way with the left and right. You could just pull one up, but it kind of will make more sense when you render your slot and drag it out, that you're going to get, two notes that overlap. Okay, so that's the quarter note brush sweeps. So we have another specialty brush articulation, which is up higher on the keyboard. It's the ballad sweeps. These are, purpose-built for ballads, jazz ballads. There are two keys here. There's the ballad sweep long, and that's going to be your main one. And then there's the ballad sweep short, which you'd use for accents and little incidental moments. When you play one of these keys, you get a long sweep. It's quite long. Now, when I play this key, the first note, I'm going to get an onset as if the brush wasn't already moving across the drum. So it sounds like this. But if I play legato, meaning overlapping notes, the second note is going to have the transition, the change in direction that we mentioned with the quarter note sweeps. And this is not done to a tempo. It's just slow ballady feel. So let's listen to that. I'm playing overlapping notes, but at any time I can let go and then play a new note. So it's kind of up to you. You could, if the drummer takes their hand off the drum and plays a hi-hat or something, you can come back and start with like a realistic sounding first note and then go to the sweep. Now, as I was listening to old records, thinking about how to do this, I noticed that there's a lot of things like this. Let me put a hi-hat down for a tempo reference. That's what I'm doing with these short ones. And the thing that makes these two notes different, even though they have the same ability to be a first note, with that onset that's not a change in direction, when they do change direction, they do it in a more nimble and faster way. So instead of it's a subtle difference. The speed at which the actual change in direction happens is a little faster, and the speed of the brush coming out of it is moving across the head of the drum a bit faster. So those are the special brush articulations, the quarter note sweeps, and these ballad ones. I just want to mention that they're both only available for the brushes snares off. We didn't do them for the snares on because most of the time when the drummers play this way, they have the snares off. And I want to make one more little point, which is that those ballad sweeps are not available as a note in the pattern player because with the quarter notes sweeps in the scripting of the pattern maker, I assigned a duration to each note that's being played as a step, and I set the duration for the quarter notes to the quarter note plus a little dovetail. I wouldn't be able to do that with the ballad sweeps because there's no way to anticipate what you might want to do. So you're just going to have to do that the old-fashioned way, the way Granddad did his samples. So that's the special brush articulations. I hope you have fun with these. So there's one more kind of specialty articulation I wanted to talk about, which is the rolls. So we have two kinds of rolls for the toms. Starting here on A, we have the floor tom sticks and the rack tom sticks. They're only available for the sticks. And then up here we have the buzz roll versions. So, not a buzz roll, buzz roll. And the snare. So there's a couple little options you have here if we go to options. I'm currently using with the mod wheel on, which means I'm holding down the key and moving my mod wheel, and that's changing the volume of the roll. Okay? But in my experience, sometimes that's not desirable. It can just kind of slow you down. So you can also access all the different dynamic levels for the rolls by velocity. If you were just wanting to throw in one, like, because sometimes I'll just sort of go like, I just want to do a little, it's almost like a drag. I don't want to have to do a whole mod wheel thing for that, you know? So, so you can turn it on or off. So that's velocity. This keyboard is terrible. I can't really get that low, but it's there. And then the other option you have is this play note on release. So sometimes it's really useful to have, when you let go of the roll, it plays one last normal note that kind of ties off the roll more naturally. And it's going to grab a last note that matches whatever your current dynamic level is that you played with, either by velocity or a mod wheel. But sometimes you want to not do that. So you can turn this off and it'll really just cut off. And it's up to you to add a different end to it. A good one to use for the snare is the 3-stroke rough, which is sort of like a roll in itself. Or with the toms. I think the situations where I use this approach is where the note that's going to be the release is actually kind of like a downbeat, and the roll is a fill into the downbeat. So I really want it to be, rhythmically precise and not just sort of like a release. So that's the deal on the rolls. I hope you have fun with those too. Okay, thanks for watching.